Good morning to one and all gathered here. It's my immense pleasure to welcome the gathering of Ph.D. Voce examination of Mrs. Meena under the guidance of Dr.R.Venkatesan, Associate Professor, Department of Exercise Physiology and Nutrition, TNPESU. So in this fine occasion, first of all, I would like to welcome our most respected Principal Dr. Sai Kumar Anna, Principal and Correspondent Secretary and Correspondent of Maruti College of Physical Education, Coimbatore. In this fine occasion, on behalf of the university and on behalf of the Department of Education, we wholeheartedly welcome you now. I do welcome the research supervisor and the convener of this Viva examination, Dr. Venkatesan sir, Associate Professor, Department of Exercise Physiology and Nutrition at TNPESU. In this fine occasion, on behalf of the Department of Physical Education, I wholeheartedly welcome you, sir. I do welcome faculty members of the Department of Physical Education, Dr. Tirumala Kumar sir, Dr. Aili Pushpan madam, Dr. Rajesh sir, Dr. Kumaravel sir, Dr. Jayakumar sir, Dr. Vel Kumar and Dr. Lakshmanan and Dr. Jayachandran and Dr. Mrs. Koila madam. I welcome one and all. I do welcome all the faculty members from the various departments and the various affiliated colleges of TNPESU and other professional friends, MPhil and PhD scholars and my dear students. Once again, I welcome you all in this fine occasion. Now I hand over the session to research supervisor and convener of this Viva examination for the introduction of the examiner and as well as the scholar. Over to you, sir. Please.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you for your welcome. Welcome for this public Viva exam. It is great pleasure to start with Swami Vivekananda quotation. Take up one idea, make that idea one in your life, think of it, dream of it, live on that idea. Let the brain, muscle, nervous, and every part of your body be full of that idea. Just to leave every other idea alone. This is the way to success of your life. This word is always pronounced by our great teachers. Here I would like to share about their achievement. First, I would like to introduce, remember my guide, philosopher, my mentor, just like my father. Because of him only, I am producing this much candidate for PhD. It is none other than the first Vice Chancellor of our university. Is created stepstone of this university. Because of his idea and the thought only, the different departments and evolved like anything. And because of him only, I become a good teacher. So I learned a lot of things from him. In this occasion, it is my prime duty to remember his guidance. And second thing, in this COVID situation, our great Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. M. Sundar sir, has permitted us to conduct public Viva exam in this COVID situation. I thank him once again. And next, it is not, I'm not the right person to introduce this great field of physical education, because already he did a lot of things. I can share, he is my one of the best teacher. Not only teacher, is a guide, research. More than 4 candidates is been appointed as an external examiner for public exam. In this occasion, I can share his views and ideas. And see, he's just like a bunch of jasmine, all kinds of jasmine. You put it together and make it as a big blossom. And such a great personality, Dr. Sai Kumar Anna is having all the potential. A great teacher, great human being, great administrator, great researcher, and whatever the word is available, you can add it, because he is having that much potential. In his career, he achieved a great height, and he brought the institution, Maruti College of Physical Education. You can enter into the campus. You can imagine a heaven, that much greenful and colorful, and a planned institution he governed, and he holding as a secretary and principal. A principal anybody can hold any institution, but under the Maruti College of Physical Education and Ramakrishna Mission, you cannot imagine a secretary become principal become a secretary in the great institution. Because of this position, he created, he brought lakhs and lakhs of rupees to explore the campus. Because of him, the accreditation is already got, and the re-accreditation also it is possible. He is been a member of many PhD candidate. He is a member of board of studies, and you can add it a lot of things. His achievement. So I don't want to explain more than this. And second thing is, after his charge as a principal and secretary, the campus is more green and more attracted by the visitors. And this is the main campus, main area of where when I was studied in Maruti College. This is the main campus. But after that, there are a lot of infrastructure is created. You can imagine this 800-meter track. When you enter in this track, you can feel that you can run, you can walk, you can do some exercise. And second thing is, every year they used to conduct. When I was student, I'm also involved in this activity. It is a very colorful. We are eagerly waiting for this. Competition, and they collected all the nearby schools, and they will ask them to play, and they will conduct sports and games. After charging as a principal and secretary, he created exercise physiology lab, exclusively exercise physiology lab. You can visit once in the campus. You could feel this is the. I think this is enough for physical education and advanced development of research and activities. And second thing is, this is sports psychology lab. You can visit. You could feel it. Isokinetic lab. There are more than 20 stations available in the campus. And this is biomechanics and kinesiology lab. This is very limited. Equipment displayed. And second thing is, the physical education main motto is produce sports person. And second 50% is we have to extend the service to the public. So the Maruti College of Physical Education, they are extending very good activities for the disabled people, and they have started one separate university for those community. And these are all the very great idea. And after his charge as a principal, this much infrastructure, multi gym, you can imagine. And second thing is indoor badminton court. And third thing is indoor tennis. I see when you enter this area, you can explore your sportsmanship. Okay, that much infra is developed by Anna. And this is about outdoor basketball court. See, you can see the greener and around the court. So it's an excellent infrastructure. And this is convocation about their activities. And the great personality of another one person is Dr. T.R.Venkatesan. He is from Maruti College of Physical Education only. I am from Maruti College of Physical Education. Those who are coming from Maruti College of Physical Education, definitely they will be in top. Any category, either teaching or research or administrative, whatever it is, they will be in the top, because we are guiding by great seers. There are astronomers there. They will guide us very, very excellently. And with this, I welcome this public exam, because I have to tell many things, but the time is not permitted because it's a public exam. So with this, I welcome this public exam, Anna, because I am not competent as an authority to introduce in this great field. Already you have achieved a lot of things. I need not to explain many things. And second thing is about PhD scholar. See, I need not to explain much about her. In the year of 2012, she registered Ph.D. She completed around 2016. After that, during her PhD, she struggled like anything. More than 6 months, she taken bed rest. Even she can't work. That much problem she faced. Though she is a very good sports personality, when she was in a Bachelor of other education, she got, in athletics, hockey, she got Form 3 certificate, and she is a very good person. She is a determining personality. She can do anything. Even now, she got, I think, COVID. She can't even sit properly. That much problem. Even though she overcome a female candidate, this much struggle she faced and come up, and she is ready to define her thesis. So every great success woman, every grateful man, there is a successful woman. But here is totally different. A successful woman behind a successful and a famous figure. This is about her husband. Kumari Ganesan, Master. He conducted so many seminars, conference, and workshop, and state level competition also. So with this, this is about the scholar. And regarding topic, effect of resistant Surya Namaskar and combined training with natural fat reduction, supplementation and selected lipid profile and metabolic profile among overweight school children. This battle is between a high blood glucose and low blood glucose. How high blood glucose is actually created, how we can overcome. Okay, though we have maintained a group, a better nutrition and some exercise, even though we are not in position to overcome those problems. But here we have find a solution to overcome those problems. How? Because of the combined training and Surya Namaskar and resistant training, it will give better solution and overcome from those problems. And this thing, see, the entire thesis on the entering and leaving of blood glucose in the intracellular and extracellular and the blood. There are three things we need to consider: gluconeogenesis, diet, and glucogenesis. These are three options. We can include the blood glucose whenever you need it. And second thing is glucolysis, gluconeogenesis, and lipogenesis. These are the stored format. Whenever you need, it will supply. Okay, without any kind of exercise, if you load these three things, definitely the normal blood glucose level will be altered. Because of this, the young adult, young children have got obese nowadays. And second thing is the hyperglycemic hormone is glucagon, epinephrine, cortisol, and growth hormone. These are the hormones responsible to increase your blood glucose and fat, triglyceride, whatever it is. See, whenever if you consume any kind of food, there is a glucose. Finally, it will convert it as a glucose. If glucose is not utilized, definitely it will be converted as unwanted cholesterol in your body. If it is higher, definitely liver will get problem, and adipose tissue and muscle. So finally, you will get obese. So these are the reason where we need to concentrate. And you can see this picture. This maroon color shows that insulin. All other growth hormone, glucagon, epinephrine, thyroid. These hormone is against to glucose. So when glucose is not properly secreted, all remaining enemies are gonna be. If you are not able to control your glucose, definitely you will be coming under obese. So this is the concept of the thesis. So remaining things, our PhD scholar is going to defend her thesis properly with a very good picturization. Okay, so with this, I conclude my introduction about scholar and my beloved teacher, Dr. Sai Kumarana. I wholeheartedly welcome, and the session is handed over to external examiner, Dr. Sai Kumarana. Please, Anna.
Very good morning, all of you, particularly Dr. Venkatesan, the research scholar, and Dr. Manikandan, Head of the Department of Physical Education, Tamil Nadu Physical Education and Sports University, and also the controller of examinations of this esteemed university. I wholeheartedly welcome all of you. And also I invite Mrs. Meena Ganesan for her presentation. Dr. Venkatesan has given an elaborate introduction, particularly about the Marthi College of Physical Education. I wonder to see all the facilities that we are having on his screen. Has done a lot of research collecting all those pictures, and I'm very happy and elated to see all those pictures and listening from Dr. Venkatesan. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for showing our institute during this Viva Voce examination. I also extend a warm welcome, though I'm an external examiner for the head of the Department of Physical Education, Dr. Manikantan, and all the other research scholars and staff members, those who are attending this Viva Voce. I welcome all of them, and I advise the scholar, feel free and don't get any tension. You can present your your PhD, and if at all we are having any doubts or clarification, we'll see it later. Now it is up to the scholar for her presentation. Thank you.
Good morning to one and all present here. I welcome you all for my PhD Viva Voce examination. I welcome most respected Dr. Ph.D. Sai Kumar sir, external examiner. I welcome respected Dr. S. Manikandan, Professor and Head, Department of Physical Education. I welcome Dr. R.Venkatesan sir, my guide and research supervisor, and all participants. I welcome you all. Here, I am very pleased to present my topic. This research is mainly focused on childhood obesity and metabolic disorders. So, my topic is effects of resistant Surya Namaskar and combined training with natural fat reduction supplement and selected lipid and metabolic profile among overweight school children. Introduction. In 21st century, we are facing childhood obesity as a worldwide problem. Studies from metropolitan cities in India have reported a high prevalence of obesity among school children. Overweight in children and adolescents are gradually becoming a major health problem, leads to major risk factors for number of chronic diseases, including diabetes, cardiovascular diseases, and cancer. After developed obesity, they try to reduce weight through different types of physical exercise and diet, but they find it difficult to reduce weight and facing health-related problems because fat is formed in the body after eating food through the process of lipogenesis, and breakdown of fat will not occur in the body through the proper process of lipolysis on a daily basis. This leads to overweight. Survey of overweight children. According to World Health Organization, 38.2 million children under the age of 5 years were overweight or obese in 2019. 340 million children and adolescents aged 5 to 19 were overweight or obese in 2016. In Asia, the prevalence of overweight and obesity among children and adolescents aged 5 to 19 has risen dramatically from just 4% in 1975 to just over 80% in 2016. Almost half of the children under the age of 5 who were overweight or obese in 2019 lived in Asia. In India, according to a study published in New England Journal of Medicine, India has the second highest number of obese children in the world. Again, I repeat this point. India has the second highest number of obese children in the world. Another study conducted by Indian Journal of Endocrinology and Metabolism revealed that in around 5 to 8.8% of school children are obese in India. If the rate increases at a pace like this, 27 million Indian children will be obese by 2030. Again, I repeat this point. If the rate increase at a pace like this, 27 million Indian children will be obese by 2030. If you think the childhood obesity leads to what? The answer is the childhood obesity leads to affect the economy of the nation, because growing children become adulthood, they may prone to many metabolic disorders. They prone to high blood pressure, diabetes, coronary artery disease, stroke, kidney failure, asthma, chronic obstructive lung disease, certain types of cancers, osteoarthritis, fertility, sleep apnea, gallbladder stones, and acid reflux. This will lead to decreased productivity. So it will definitely affect the economy of the nation. So it will be a big threat to our country. So we must aware of childhood obesity, and we must prevent childhood obesity. Here I am saying how childhood obesity is developed. Obesity frequently begins in childhood. A complex system of endocrinal, neural, and chemical mechanism is involved in maintaining normal body weight. When something goes wrong with this mechanism and aspects, the balancing of energy expenditure with energy intake, it causes weight fluctuations and lead to obesity. The normal obese adult has approximately 25 billion fat cells in the body. Each fat cell holds 0.5 to 0.6 microgram of lipid. These fat cells develop and multiply greatly during the phases of growth spurt, namely fetus, and during infancy and adolescence. During these periods, or sometimes at any period of time later in life, hyperphagia or overeating leads to hypertrophy. It means increase in size cells until a maximum of 1 microgram is reached. Therefore, continued hyperphagia leads to hyperplasia or formation of new number of cells. The person or child now has more than normal number of cells. Such a child, when he grows up to be an adult, finds it extremely difficult to not overeat, as the increased fat cells demand to be fed. The number of fat cells once increased cannot be reduced. He will battle with obesity all his life. Causes of obesity in children: genetic factor, high academic burden, hyperphagia, junk food, improper sleep pattern, less physical activity, malnutrition, frustration, stress, high level of competitive exam, in which less physical activity and hyperphagia leads to insulin resistance in liver and muscle cells. Prevention of childhood obesity. To prevent childhood obesity, we must consider two things. One is we try to decrease lipogenesis. Other one is we try to increase lipolysis. Lipogenesis means formation of triglycerides after eating food in the body. Lipolysis means breakdown of triglycerides during exercise. If the two process is balanced in day-to-day life activities, we can prevent obesity. Here I explained obesity. Obesity is characterized by excess of adipose tissue. Adipose tissue is a specialized energy storage organ. 65% of excess calories are deposited in the adipose tissue. Adipose tissue contains adipocytes. It is a fat cell. Fat cells hold triglycerides in the form of fat. If triglycerides excess in the body, it harmful to the body. Here, how adipocytes harmful to the body. Enlarged adipocytes release harmful free radicals like free fatty acid, leptin, TNF-alpha, etc. It will directly affect glucose metabolism. It leads to hyperglycemia, hyperlipemia, hyperinsulinemia, and insulin resistance. Obesity management. Ways to decrease lipogenesis. First, we avoid morning bed coffee, tea, Horlicks, milk with boost with sugar, etc. It will after drinking it, insulin will secreted in the blood. It will stop fat burning. Then try to decrease frequent eating and hyperphagia. Try to decrease preserved food like biscuits, cakes, bread, cool drinks, etc. Because it contains fructose content, it's straight away converted into fat. We regulate sleeping pattern in night, increase physical activity, take balanced diet, These are the ways to decrease lipogenesis. Ways to increase lipolysis. One of the best way to increase lipolysis, best option is exercise, because triglycerides break down during exercise only to provide ATP as a chemical source of energy for active muscle. So we must increase physical activity. Here I am explaining importance of exercise to prevent obesity. After eating carbohydrate food, blood glucose level increased. It leads to secrete insulin from pancreas to lower blood sugar level, because high blood sugar damaging the blood vessels. Insulin lower blood sugar level in 3 ways. One is in liver cell, glucose converted into liver glycogen. Another one is in muscle cell, it converted into muscle glycogen. It is the storage form of carbohydrate. If we stored glucose in the form of carbohydrate, it uses during day-to-day low-intensity activities, leads to prevent lipogenesis. Due to hyperphagia and less physical activity, liver and muscle glycogen not utilized for energy purpose. It leads to insulin resistance in liver and muscle cells. It leads to obesity. If the muscle and liver cell resistant to insulin, finally the glucose goes to adipocytes and converted into fat as triglycerides. The triglycerides break down only during exercise to provide energy for muscular contraction. So exercise helps to prevent lipogenesis and increase lipolysis. Objective of my research. My objective of my research was, if we reduce insulin resistance in liver and muscle cell, we can reduce obesity and metabolic disorders. So I selected resistance training, Surya Namaskar training, combined training, and almond supplementation as a tool to reduce obesity in overweight children. Importance of exercise to prevent obesity. The regular exercise along with nutritional diet helps to prevent obesity and related metabolic disorders. Obesity risks are reduced by natural way through regular exercise only. Regular exercise helps to burn excess calories in the body via it reduces body fat and reduces obesity. Regular exercise not only prevents overweight, it improves physical fitness of the obese person. It improves lymphatic circulation and helps to increase immunity power. It improves blood circulation and it strengthens the heart, lungs, and improves its function. It improves cardiovascular endurance, muscular endurance for obese person. According to guidelines set by American College of Sports Medicine, the obesity person needs at least 150 minutes, 30 minutes, 5 times a week of moderate intensity physical activity is essential in order to prevent further weight gain or to lose a small amount of weight. However, children need at least 250 to 300 minutes of physical activity for weekly 5 days and daily 60 minutes. Here, for my research, I am selecting resistance training, Surya Namaskar training, and combined training. The resistance training and Surya Namaskar training completely different from each other. In resistance training, prime mover concentric contraction uses ATP all major muscle groups. In Surya Namaskar training, prime mover eccentric contraction which uses ATP all major and muscle groups. Here, fast twitch muscle fibers are activated. Here, slow twitch muscle fibers are activated. Especially, breathing technique used in Surya Namaskar helps to activate inner core muscles, transverse abdominis. Resistance training uses carbohydrate fuel storage like glucose, glycogen. Surya Namaskar uses 3 types of fuels: carbohydrate, protein, and fat. Here, a alpha neuron activator. Surya Namaskar, both alpha and gamma neuron activated. Resistance training helps to improve carbohydrate metabolism. Here, Surya Namaskar helps to regulate all 3 types metabolism: carbohydrate, protein, and fat metabolism. Resistance training helps to prevent lipogenesis. Surya Namaskar training helps to increase lipolysis and prevent lipogenesis. Both the training helps to decrease insulin resistance. Here, combined training. Combined training helps to prevent lipogenesis and increase lipolysis. It helps to decrease insulin resistance. While doing combined training, growth hormones secreted by hypothalamus of pituitary gland. So lipolysis rate will be increased. Thus, helps to increase metabolism in adipose tissue, lead to reduced obesity. Here I want to explain biochemical role of training. While doing resistant Surya Namaskar and combined training leads to decreased blood glucose level. This is key point. To secrete growth hormones from pituitary gland of hypothalamus. This leads to stimulate endocrine and exocrine glands, that is pancreas, liver, thyroid gland, kidney, adrenal gland, and ovaries. This leads to stimulate carbohydrate, protein, and fat metabolism through glycogenolysis, gluconeogenesis, and lipolysis. Importance of training. Glycogenolysis. Through glycogenolysis, ATP breakdown. Through glycogenolysis, ATP is produced from muscle and liver glycogen. Through gluconeogenesis, ATP is formed from amino acid. Through lipolysis, ATP is formed from lipolysis. So this glycogenolysis, gluconeogenesis, lipolysis leads to produce ATP for demanding exercising muscle, but liver as a control factor for ATP production. The ATP production based on type of exercise, duration, and intensity of exercise. So proper training is very, very important. Here I am selecting almond supplementation for my research. Almond is a very nutritious nut. The monosaturated content in almonds satisfies appetite and prevent overeating. It is a rich source of vitamin E, calcium, phosphorus, iron, and magnesium. It also contains zinc, selenium, copper, and niacin. Almonds contain potassium, helps to formation of glycogen and prevent lipogenesis. It helps to increase HDL cholesterol and decrease LDL cholesterol. It helps to increase metabolism because the presence of manganese, copper, and riboflavin helps in energy production. It helps to increase lipolysis. Statement of the problem. The purpose of the study was to find out the effects of resistant Surya Namaskar and combined training with natural fat reduction supplementation on selected lipid and metabolic profile among overweight school children. Hypothesis. It was hypothesis that there would be a significant improvement on selected lipid profile and metabolic profile among overweight school children due to the influence of resistant Surya Namaskar and combined training with natural fat reduction supplementation than the control group. It was hypothesis that experimental group 3 would have significant effects on selected lipid profile and metabolic profile among overweight school children than experimental group 1 and experimental group 2 due to the influence of 12 weeks of combined training with natural fat reduction supplementation. It was hypothesis that experimental group 2 would have significant effect on selected lipid profile and metabolic profile among overweight school children than experimental group 1 due to the influence of 12 weeks of Surya Namaskar training with natural fat reduction supplementation. The following limitations were considered while interpreting results of the study. The weather conditions such as atmospheric temperature, humidity, exposure of light and dark during testing period were not considered. Though the subjects were motivated verbally, no attempt was made to differentiate the motivation level during the period of testing. No effort was made to control the nature of lifestyle, physiological factors, and prescribed medicine that affect metabolic function. Medications were not controlled. The subjects were from different social, cultural, economic backgrounds not controlled. Delimitation. 60 overweight school children from Sri Ayyappa Metric Higher Secondary School were selected as subjects for this study. The subjects selected for this study were in the age group of 11 to 14 years. The subjects were divided into 4 equal groups. Each group consists of 15 each, namely experimental group 1, experimental group 2, and experimental group 3, and control group. Only 3 training methods such as resistant, Surya Namaskar, and combined training with natural fat reduction supplementation were selected for this study. Natural fat reduction supplementation almond seeds are given to the overweight school children. I have selected the following dependent variable. Lipid profile variables are total cholesterol, high density lipoprotein, low density lipoprotein, very low density lipoprotein, triglycerides. Metabolic profile variables are glucose, calcium, albumin, total protein, sodium, potassium, and chloride. My independent variables are resistant training, Surya Namaskar training, and combined training. Selection of subjects. To achieve the purpose of the study, 300 school children were tested on BMI from Sri Ayyappa Metric Higher Secondary School, among which 60 overage school children were selected for this study. They were divided into 4 equal groups. Each group consists of 15 subjects. BMI for age equal to or greater than 85th percentile were considered as overweight. The subjects were selected only after getting the written consent regarding the participation in the research through Sri Ayyappa Metric Higher Secondary School. The subjects age group between 11 to 14 years. Only female overage school children were selected for this research. Pre-test. After selecting the overage school children, the subjects underwent pre-test of lipid and metabolic profile test. The subjects underwent blood test through the lab technician from Rajkumar Clinical Laboratory, Chennai. The selected subjects underwent blood examination for glucose, serum calcium, total protein, serum albumin, sodium, potassium, chloride, total cholesterol, serum HDL, LDL, VDL, and serum triglycerides. After selecting 60 subjects, they were divided into 4 equal groups. Each group consists of 15 subjects. Group 1 underwent resistant training with natural fat reduction supplementation. Group 2 underwent Surya Namaskar training with natural fat reduction supplementation. Group 3 underwent combined training with natural fat reduction supplementation. Group 4 not underwent any training and supplementation. Almond supplementation. To achieve the purpose of the research, almonds were chosen as supplements to selected overage school children. All the 3 groups underwent almond supplementation for weekly 3 days of training period. The almonds were soaked into water and peeled up the almond skin given to the subjects. 5 almonds are given to the overage students for 12 weeks of training period. The main purpose these almonds had given to the subjects to improve metabolism. Training history, age 11 to 14 years, gender female, subjects overage school children, training period 12 weeks, weekly 3 days, training duration 1 hour, goal to improve lipid and metabolic profile status, training method, resistance training, Surya Namaskar, and combined training. Resistance training. Here my subject doing own body weight resistance training. Before doing training, I had given pre-stretch and warming up exercise. I had given modified push-ups, up squat, forward lunges, sit-ups, and heel rise. This exercise mainly strengthen major muscle groups. One set consists of 10 modified push-ups, 10 up squat, 10 forward lunges, and 10 sit-ups and 10 heel rise. This is my training schedule. I had given 2 sets of exercise every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks, 2 sets of exercise was increased. In between sets, I had given 2 minutes rest. After doing resistance training, I had given warm down exercise. This is Surya Namaskar training. My subjects doing Surya Namaskar training. It consists of 12 counts of asanas. One set consists of 5 repetitions of Surya Namaskar. During Surya Namaskar, breathing pattern was concentrated. Especially breathing technique, it will activate inner core muscle, transverse abdominis. During spine extension movement, breathing inhaled and flexion movement exhaled. This is Surya Namaskar training schedule. This is combined training schedule. Combined training is combination of resistance training and Surya Namaskar. First and second week, I had given 1 set of Surya Namaskar and 1 set of resistance training. Every 2 weeks, 2 sets of resistance training and Surya Namaskar was increased. Post-test. After 12 weeks of training and natural fat reduction supplementation, the overweight school children underwent post-test of lipid and metabolic profile test. Statistical analysis. The analysis of covariance statistical technique was used to find out effect of resistance, Surya Namaskar, and combined training with natural fat reduction supplementation and selected lipid profile and metabolic profile status among overweight school children. If the test is significant, the SCEPIS post-hoc test will be used to find out paired mean significant difference. This is computation analysis of covariance and total cholesterol. The pre-test FPL is 1.22 is lower than the table value 2.77. So the total cholesterol not significantly improved in pre-test. The post-test value are 12.28 and adjusted post-test was 31.08 is higher than the table value 2.77. So total cholesterol after post-test total cholesterol variable was increased. If the total cholesterol is significant, we applied SCEPIS post-hoc test to find out the paired mean significant difference. Yeah. Then the bar this table shows the 3 training groups have as the mean difference is significant. Then the table value 6.88. The bar diagram shows combined training, 3 variables are significantly improved, and combined training give best results. This is computation and analysis of covariance of high density lipoprotein. Pre-test value were 1.14 is lower than the table value 2.77. So pre-test value not significantly improved. Post-test and adjusted post-test score was 25.42 and 30.40 adjusted post-test is greater than the table value 2.77. So high density lipoprotein variables also significantly improved. Yeah, after significantly improved, we went for SCEPIS post-hoc test. This graph also shows that all the 3 trainings increased significantly improved, but combined training was significantly improved compared to other 2 training. Here the ANACO of low density lipoprotein pre-test value was 1.40 is lower than the table value 2.77. Post-test and adjusted post-test value was 10.19. Adjusted post-test 13.37 is higher than the table value 2.77. So it significantly improved. The graph shows all the training method was significantly improved. Low density, very low density lipoprotein, but combined training significantly improved. This is ANACO of triglycerides. This table is analysis of glucose. This table is analysis of calcium. This table is analysis of albumin. This table is ANACO of total protein. This table shows ANACO of sodium, potassium, and chloride. Results of the study. The whole statistics revealed that combined training significantly improved lipid and metabolic profile variable compared to Surya Namaskar and resistance training. Because first doing resistance training, our carbohydrate fuels are in blood glucose level were decreased. So it leads to secretion of growth hormone from the pituitary gland of hypothalamus. After that, doing Surya Namaskar, lipolysis rate will be higher. So combined training give best results. Surya Namaskar training also significantly improved lipid and metabolic profile variables compared to resistance training. Because Surya Namaskar training regulates 3 types of metabolism: carbohydrate, protein, and fat metabolism. So it significantly improved compared to resistance training. Resistance training significantly improved lipid and metabolic profile variables compared to control group. Because resistance training regulates carbohydrate metabolism, it leads to prevent lipogenesis. Discussion of hypothesis. It was hypothesis that there would be a significant improvement on selected lipid profile and metabolic profile among overweight school children due to the influence of resistant Surya Namaskar and combined training with natural fat reduction supplementation than the control group. The findings of the study showed that the significant reduction on selected lipid profiles such as total cholesterol, low density lipoprotein, very low density lipoprotein, triglyceride, and increased high density lipoprotein. Metabolic profiles such as glucose, calcium, albumin, total protein, sodium, potassium, and chloride had significant improvement due to the influence of 12 weeks of resistant Surya Namaskar and combined training with natural fat reduction supplementation, then the control group. Hence, the first hypothesis was accepted and the above set variables at 0.05 level. The second hypothesis was, it is hypothesis that the experimental group 3 would have significant effects on selected lipid profile and metabolic profile among overweight school children. Then experimental group 1 and experimental group 2 due to the influence of 12 weeks of combined training with natural fat reduction supplementation. The findings of the study show that experimental group 3 combined training had significant reduction on selected lipid profiles such as total cholesterol, low density lipoprotein, very low density lipoprotein, triglycerides, and increased high density lipoprotein. Metabolic profiles such as glucose, calcium, albumin, total protein, sodium, potassium, and chloride had significant improvement than experimental group 1 resistant training and experimental group 2 Surya Namaskar training. Hence, the second hypothesis was accepted on the above set variables at 0.0 level of confidence expect very low density lipoprotein. It was hypothesis that experimental group 2 would have significant effect on selected lipid profile and metabolic profile among overweight school children. Then experimental group 1 due to the influence of 12 weeks of Surya Namaskar training with natural fat reduction supplementation. The findings of the study show that experimental group 2 Surya Namaskar training had significant reduction on selected lipid profiles such as total cholesterol, low density lipoprotein, very low density lipoprotein, triglycerides, and increased high density lipoprotein. Metabolic profiles such as glucose, calcium, albumin, total protein, sodium, potassium, and chloride had significant improvement than experimental group 1 resistant training. Hence, the third hypothesis was accepted and the above set variables at 0.0 level of confidence except very low density lipoprotein. Conclusion. It was concluded that the significantly altered lipid profiles such as total cholesterol, high density lipoprotein, low density lipoprotein, very low density lipoprotein, and triglycerides. Metabolic profiles such as glucose, calcium, albumin, total protein, sodium, potassium, and chloride due to the influence of resistant training, Surya Namaskar, and combined training with natural fat reduction supplementation among overweight school children, then control group. It was concluded that experimental group 3 combined training had significant reduction on selected lipid profile such as total cholesterol, low density lipoprotein, triglyceride, and increased high density lipoprotein. Metabolic profiles such as glucose, calcium, albumin, total protein, sodium, potassium, and chloride had significant improvement than experimental group 1 resistant training and experimental group 2 Surya Namaskar training due to the influence of combined training with natural fat reduction supplementation among overweight school children. It was concluded that experimental group 3 combined training were not significantly improved lipid profiles such as very low density lipoprotein, then experimental group 2 Surya Namaskar training due to the influence of combined training with natural fat reduction supplementation among overweight school children. It was concluded that the experimental group 2 Surya Namaskar training had significant reduction on selected lipid profiles such as total cholesterol, low density lipoprotein, triglyceride, and increased high density lipoprotein. Metabolic profiles such as glucose, calcium, albumin, total protein, sodium, potassium, and chloride had significant improvement than experimental group 1 resistant training due to the influence of Surya Namaskar training with natural fat reduction supplementation among overweight school children. It was concluded that experimental group 2 Surya Namaskar training were not significantly improved lipid profile such as very low density lipoprotein, then experimental group 1 resistant training and experimental group 2 combined training due to the influence of Surya Namaskar training with natural fat reduction supplementation among overweight school children. On the basis of findings and conclusions of the study, the following recommendations were drawn. It is recommended that resistant training, Surya Namaskar, and combined training with natural fat reduction supplementation could be included as one of the training methods to change lipid profile and metabolic profile variables. It is recommended a similar study may be conducted with larger samples, which would support the findings of this study. It is recommended that a similar study may be conducted to different age groups of population. It is recommended a similar study may be conducted to the various people such as sedentary people and obese people. It is recommended a similar study may be conducted to the special people such as lifestyle diseases like hypertensive people.
Next.
Suggestions for research. The study may also conducted separately for college level men and women of different age groups. It is suggested that similar study can be conducted by altering the duration and types of exercise for obese person. It is suggested that similar study can be conducted by altering the duration and different training methods. It is suggested that similar study can be conducted individually for different variables like physical fitness variable, health-related fitness variable, psychological variables, and hematological variables. This will give an depth analysis, and the results obtained will be specific. The results obtained from resistance training, Surya Namaskar, and combined training for a particular experimental group can be compared by different training like interval training, aerobic training, anaerobic training, plyometric training, and functional core training. Thank you all. சார் சொல்லுங்க சார்.
It was a very good presentation.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I have small queries that you can expect.
Yes, sir.
Now, how did you define the obese children? You have taken the subjects, no, obese children.
Yes, sir.
How did you find out these are all obese girls? How did you find out?
Sir, my husband working in school, sir. So we get subjects easily, sir.
No, you must have conducted some tests to find out the obesity, the
Yes,
fat
sir.
percentage.
Yes, sir. I have conducted BMI test, sir.
Yes,
In which the growth chart for BMI வந்து 80 percentile was exceeded as considered overweight, sir.
What is the formula for BMI?
BMI, sir.
Weight divided by?
Weight divided by height meter square, sir.
Yeah, into 100.
Into 100, sir. Actually, I found it through a calculation, sir.
Okay.
After find out BMI, I plotted in children growth chart in which those who exceed 80 percentile as considered overweight, and I had taken subjects, sir.
Okay, you took only girl students. Why not boys?
Sir, because they are physiologically different, sir. During my MPhil, I had conducted liver profile test, sir. In 11 to 14 years, they are in growing children, sir. So their hormones will be changed. So it will affect metabolism, sir. That's why I had taken in PhD. I had taken only female students, sir.
Okay, that's good. Then for your training purpose, you have given resistance training for one group, Surya Namaskar for another group, and for the third group, combined training.
Yes, sir.
But for fat reduction and all, I thought you could have gone for aerobic training. Why you have chosen only these two types of trainings?
Sir, I am selecting nowadays. We are in city, sir. We are in city. They don't have space to do training. So I have selected. We can do resistance training in home, and Surya Namaskar training also in home. I have selected resistance training. We can give own body weight resistance training with benefit for children. My concept is through training we can regulate metabolism. So I had selected resistance training to regulate carbohydrate metabolism because fast twitch muscle fibers are used too much ATP quickly. The resting metabolic rate also will be increased. If you take obese children, they become weak. So to strengthen them, I also give resistance training. I had taken Surya Namaskar training. It is most popular training nowadays. Yoga is more popular. during Surya Namaskar training, it will regulate all three types of metabolism. Then Surya Namaskar training both uses both fast and muscle twitch fibers. Then Surya Namaskar I especially here given all types of neuron activated during a stretching movement. Then in Surya Namaskar especially it activates the higher brain centers. Then why I give combined training is resistance training regulate carbohydrate metabolism. First, we are giving resistance training. The glucose level will be increased. It is the key factor. After that, growth hormones will be secreted. So it will increase lipolysis rate after doing Surya Namaskar because slow twitch fibers uses triglycerides as a fuel, sir. That's why I had taken this research, sir. Training methods.
Very good. Now the subjects are obese children.
Yes, sir.
Did you conduct any medical tests before starting this training program?
Yes, sir. I can. No, sir. I have not conducted. In MPhil, I have selected overage school children, sir. So it is experience for me to take in PhD, sir. After pre-test only, I have conducted blood test, sir.
Did you have any problems while giving training to these obese children?
No, sir. Because I have already experience in MPhil. I have overtake all problems. My husband is working in that school. First, during MPhil also I faced struggles, sir. For getting obese subjects is very difficult, sir. Difficult for me. I really thank to Shri Ayyappa Matriculation School, Principal Revati Madam, bravely given subjects. Gave me subjects to take blood test. They through Shri Ayyappa Matriculation only.
Hello.
Okay.
Hello.
Solung, sir.
Meena, sir is asking what are the difficulties you are facing during your test procedure
Okay, sir.
and training procedure.
Okay, sir. Sir, I am not facing. I am not facing any problem. The subjects are cooperated well too much. Only one problem I face. I have conducted training during June to September 15 before the quarterly exam. At this period in the school they conducted sports day, sir. That time some subjects went for sports day training. So after that I informed the management for the regular participant students. So students and school all are supported me, sir, to conduct training.
Very good, very good. Now the forum is open for any discussion and for asking any queries to Mrs. Meena. Yeah. If anybody is having any queries, you are now welcome.
Purna Chandran, do you have any doubt?
Sir, good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hello, Madam,
Yes,
Mr.
sir, yes,
Madam.
sir.
Meena.
Yes, audible. Yes, audible, sir.
Yeah, did you nicely. Yes, I have only one doubt.
Okay.
You taken that obesity children, how the problem, the special children, which training will give the special children?
I didn't take special children. They are obese children. Sir, I am not taken special children. They are obese children, sir.
I think Armugmana is there. He can come out and.
Yes.
Armugmana.
Very good afternoon to all.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Video, you can on video.
I am sitting over the field. I cannot able to open. If you want to open, I will open it.
No issue.
Yes. Okay, congratulations for the both scholar and this guy.
Thank you, sir.
It is both are equal, it seems. By introduction of the examiner and the candidate and the presentation, it takes equal time. Now, yes, good effort. But I want just only one clarification.
Yes, sir.
What is the logic behind you to select yoga? I mean, yoga in the sense the resistance exercises and the Surya Namaskar. What is the logic behind combining these two?
Yes, sir. It's a very good question, sir. It is a key question, sir. Actually, because metabolic disorders leads to obesity, sir. Exercise helps to improve metabolism. If you take resistance training, it helps to improve carbohydrate metabolism, sir. Because it uses energy fuel like glucose and glycogen carbohydrate fuel, sir. Then you come to Surya Namaskar training. It is in which slow twitch fibers are activated. Especially in Surya Namaskar, inner core muscles through breathing is specialized, sir. Inner core muscles are activated through breathing exercise only, sir. Then if you're doing combined training, first I had given resistance training, sir. So while doing resistance training, glucose level was decreased, so it leads to secretion of growth hormones from pancreas, from pituitary gland of hypothalamus. So it leads to secrete of growth hormones. It's activate exocrine gland as well as endocrine glands like liver, pancreas, etc. So it leads to three processes. One is glycogenolysis, glyconeogenesis, and lipolysis. If you take glycogenolysis, is the breakdown of glucose, is the breakdown of liver glycogen and muscle glycogen. If you it regulate carbohydrate metabolism, then if you glyconeogenesis means the amino acid breakdown down and energy for the training. So it regulates protein metabolism. After, if you take lipolysis, triglyceride will broken down and broken down into free fatty acid and glycerol. So it's slow to produce ATP. It regulates 3 types of metabolism. So combined training give best results, sir.
Correct. That's good.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Which type of energy system it induces? You are telling about the ATP production. Right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Will it alone help us to reduce the what you call is your concept?
Okay, sir. Energy system used for the anaerobic glycolysis and aerobic system, beta oxidation system, sir.
Correct. And one more clarification. Yes,
sir. Yes, sir.
You selected a set of exercises as a resistance training.
Yes,
and
sir.
Surya Namaskar.
Yes,
but
sir.
You took the obese people, can they how they feel to execute the Surya Namaskar since they are obese,
Sir, if you take their BMI starting from 24, sir. They are school children. They are very energetic, and in higher stream metrics people, they regularly given 5 days of physical activity, sir. They have 1 day Surya Namaskar, 1 day yoga, silamam. That's all. Already the children know Surya Namaskar, sir. So they are easily done and cooperate well.
Just wait. Meena, just wait. Sir asking very clear question. Okay. How do you relate Surya Namaskar and resistance training, and how it is related to metabolic process? How it has affected your obesity? Okay. Do you understand the question? So both Surya Namaskar and the resistance training, it will be slow. Okay. It will be depends on the slow twitch fiber. Okay. When you use fast twitch fiber, it will be depend on your glycolysis. Okay, instead of using a fast twitch fiber, if you use slow twitch fiber, definitely it will convert the maximum volume of excess glucose, and fat reduction will be doing. So based on this only, we are chosen the two right kind of training. And second question is, okay, second question was, what is the second question? Second question, Anna asking, Anna, Armana, second question, na?
Second question, இது சொன்னேன் இல்லையா, which energy system used சொன்னேன் இல்லையா, ATP production தான் சொன்னேன். You mean ATP production, you know, ATP production will last up to 3 to 4 seconds.
Yes.
Yes. Right?
So ATP,
if you use the energy system,
yes.
If you are using the first source of energy system, it lasts up to 4 seconds or sometimes 8 seconds, right? Yes. Then it switch over to second source of energy.
Krebs cycle.
Correct?
Yes, Anna. Krebs cycle.
Yes, that's what I am asking.
After utilizing or after starvation of ATP.
Yes, that's what I am asking.
Yeah. After starvation of ATP, definitely the cycle is, I mean, switch over to glycolytic to Krebs cycle. So Krebs cycle, it will give you n number of energy sources and with the help of electron transport chain. So within a cycle, you will get 36 energy molecule. So with ATP alone, we cannot run any kind of exercise. So it will switch over immediately. That's why the resistant training, it will convert the lipolysis process. Automatically the releasing of glucose will be available. So automatically the excess glucose will be released from wherever it is deposited. That is our main motto of giving Surya Namaskar and resistant training.
Yes, that's what I'm asking. Because yes, all the ways he was mentioning about the ATP production, yes, of ATP, but it is not sufficient for, you know.
Yes.
Second, last one. When you combine the two training protocols or two different exercises, you have to follow one principles. Which principles you follow to combine these two? Resistance and Surya Namaskar. When you combine any two exercises, you should follow certain principles. Which
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You follow like that? Just do any pilot study or literature review like that? Any supportive documents to combine?
Yes, sir. I had given based on the energy system, sir, because if obesity, for obesity, we want to reduce triglyceride content, sir. If you increase lipolysis, first our body uses carbohydrate fuel as a storage. After using
correct, you are going in deep into the physiology fact. Illa na kekkuradhu straight or rendu exercise combine பண்ணும்போது we should follow certain what you call principles. எவ்வளவு சேர்த்தணும், எவ்வளவு எக்சர்சைஸ் பண்ணலாம் அப்படினு ஒரு நார்ம்ஸ் சொல்லலாம்.
ஓவர்லோட் பிரின்சிபல் யூஸ் பண்ணிருக்கேன் சார். Yes, sir. Overload principle. I had taken a overload principle, set duration and intensity, sets and repetitions, sir.
Okay. When you take that kind of component, how much load you fixed? So if you are talking about the overload principle, how
yes,
much
sir,
load
yes,
you have increased? Do you have assessed the load and all? Okay.
Yes,
okay,
no I had conducted pilot training, sir, in which I had given for one set. I had selected resist training 5 exercises, sir. Each exercise I had given 10 repetition. Initially, one set consists of 10 repetition each exercise. And first I started with 2 sets of exercise, and every 2 weeks 2 sets was increased, sir. This is overall principle.
Meena, wait. Sir is asking how you applied both training together. What is the intensity? Okay. So you have chosen based on BMI the very overweight children only we have taken, because since the Ayappa school daily they are weekly thrice they are given training, so they may not be that much obese. Okay. So based on your pilot study, we are converting into workload minimum of 50 to 60. Okay, and final stage it will reach up to 70. That's it. Okay, the overweight and obese children you cannot assign more than 70% of load there, because it will injure their ligament. I mean, knee joint problem, everything will be occur. So you just convey your thoughts and the idea in a good word and sentence. Then only it will be appreciated. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Anna, thank you, Anna. Armugam
Thank
Anna.
you. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I congratulate the supervisor, Dr.R.Venkatesan.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you.
Particularly.
Hello.
And I also express my thanks to the university authorities, Vice Chancellor, the registrar, and also the controller of examinations for having given me the opportunity to be the external examiner of this Viva Voce. And I thank each and everyone. I'm very happy with the presentation of Mrs. Meena.
Thank you,
And
sir.
I definitely recommend to the syndicate for awarding doctorate whenever it is possible.
Thank you.
Today itself, we can call Mrs. Meena as Dr. Meena.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. My congratulations to guide, the supervisor, Dr.R.Venkatesan.
Thank you. Thank you, Anna. Thank you. And with your permission, Anna, with your permission,
Yes.
before conclude the session, I'd like to express my sincere and hearty thanks to our Professor Dr. Manikandan, because he has taken a full initiative within 2 months. He actually, we have submitted in the year 2017, I think. More than 4 years it's kept pending. But, yes, taken.
Professor, you know.
So he has taken a very good initiative and complete the thesis. And on behalf of my scholar and on behalf of my myself, I extend my sincere and gratitude to the controller of examination and
Thank you, sir.
professor and head Dr. Manikandan. I'm so thankful to your professor. It is a big burden to us because more than 4 years it's kept pending. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Now you can conclude. Okay.
Meena?
Yes, sir. First of all, I thank Almighty God for giving me wisdom to do this research. This situation, I remember my father. I lost him last month. Now he is not with me, but his blessing always with me. Really, I thank my father, Mr. Murugesan Govindasamy. I thank my mother also.
Tamil kuda solla, Meena.
Yes. Then I first thank my guide because I had submitted in 2011. Through the 10 years, I have struggled many problems. This situation guide has supported me in always to finish my research and to get doctoral degree. This all credit goes to my guide, Dr.R.Venkatesan, sir, guide and supervisor. Sir, thank you very much, sir. I would like to thank to external examiner, Dr. Ph.D. Saikma, sir, to conduct my Viva. Thank you very much, sir. I would like to thank controller of examination, Dr. Manikandan, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Then I thank my husband. He is the backbone of to help me in always. Then I thank Sri Ayappa Metric Secondary School. They had given subjects. So I thank very much Principal Revati Madam and the Senior Principal Srinivasan sir. and all my subjects and teachers. Thank you very much. Here, I want to thank my physical education teacher, Mr. Kumar, and physical education director in BSc, Dr. Amsavali Madam. Because of him, I have participated in sports and getting this position. I thank my professors and teachers of YMCA College of Physical Education, Dr. Glory Madam, Jyoti Madam, and Felix sir, Jackson sir, Johnson sir. Also, here I really thank Dr. S. Thirumalai Kumar sir, Department of Physical Education, Sports University, and all faculty members for my for my research. They helped me. I thank Dr. Lily Pushma Madam, Dr. Kumaravalu sir. They are my teachers during I studied in Sports University. Then I thank my all family members, friends, those who are participated to witness my PhD Viva. I thank you all. I am sharing. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you very much, Anna. Thank you, Professor.
Anna, thank you,
Thank you,
Sai
Arumugam,
Kumar,
sir.
Nandina.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you, Arumugam, sir.
Sir, I forget, sir. I thank Dr. Arumugam, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sai Kumar, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.